Imagine standing on a quiet country road at night. A friend pulls over, waves you in and says, "Hop into my car, I'll get you home." You know he loves you, he would never hurt you on purpose. But there's one problem. He is half asleep and doesn't really know how to drive a manual car. Down the hill you go, the engine stalls, the headlights flicker. A sharp bend appears. Your friend panics, hits the wrong pedal, and you both skid toward a cliff. Now picture a second scene. You are walking and an old rival blocks the road. He disagrees with you. He argues with every word. Yet he is wide awake and carrying a lantern. He points toward a safe footpath around the cliff edge. He may not like you, but he knows the road and shows you the way. Which companion do you choose? That is today's lesson. A well-meaning fool can destroy you faster than a clever opponent ever could. We tend to trust people who like us and distrust people who oppose us. But history, religion, psychology, and everyday life all warn the same thing. Good hearts plus bad judgment equal hidden danger. A foolish friend lacks the skills to match his affection. A wise enemy, for all his criticism, still uses skill, and skill, even when pointed against you, is at least predictable. There's an old story by Rumi that explains this idea in a simple but powerful way. It's about a holy man, a dervish, and a big lonely bear. The dervish liked to pray in the forest. One day, he laid down under a tree to rest after praying. A bear lived nearby. Hunters had chased all animals away, so the bear had no friends. He saw the dervish resting under the tree. The bear didn't want to harm him. In fact, the bear was happy. Finally, someone had come who wasn't afraid. So the bear sat near him like a quiet guard. The dervish woke up, saw the bear, and felt no fear. He said, "If you mean no harm, you are welcome to sit here." From that day, the dervish and the bear became close friends. The bear stayed near him, protecting him during sleep, and the dervish didn't mind. One afternoon, a fly started buzzing around. It kept landing on the dervish's shaved head while he was sleeping. The bear waved his paw again and again to chase it off, but the fly kept coming back again and again to the same spot. The bear became angry. In his mind, the fly was disrespecting his friend. He wanted to protect the dervish. So he picked up a large stone and waited. When the fly landed between the dervish's eyes, the bear slammed the stone down hard to kill it. The fly flew away, but the dervish's skull broke. He died on the spot. The bear was trying to help, but instead he killed the very person he wanted to protect. This is the heart of the story. Love without wisdom can be dangerous, sometimes deadly. Rumi ends this story with a strong warning. He says, "It's better to have a smart enemy than a foolish friend." That line might surprise people. Most of us believe enemies are always worse. But this story shows that a foolish friend can cause more damage than an honest critic. This problem still happens today. Think about a close friend who wants to help you in a situation they don't understand. Maybe you're struggling with work. Your friend sees this and tries to edit your resume, but they make grammar mistakes and send it before you check. You don't get the interview. You feel embarrassed, not because your friend meant harm, but because they helped without knowing what they were doing. Their love wasn't the problem. Their lack of skill was. That's how accidents happen. Kind hands doing clumsy work. It also happens with money. Maybe you tell your cousin you want to invest. She says, "I read about this new coin online. It's the next big thing." You trust her. She sounds excited. You put all your savings into it. 3 months later, the coin crashes. You lose everything. When you ask her about it, she says, "Well, I thought it would work." Again, no harm was meant, but the result was real harm. You followed her because she cared about you, but she didn't have the experience. Her good heart wasn't enough. Let's also think about relationships. You have an argument with your partner. A friend tells you, "Ignore him for a week, teach him a lesson." It sounds powerful, so you do it, but your partner becomes distant. The trust breaks. Later you regret it. Your friend didn't mean to ruin your relationship. They were trying to defend you, but they gave advice that made things worse. They were acting like the bear, full of love, empty of wisdom. That's the danger, when someone acts from emotion, not understanding. Sometimes the most dangerous people in our lives are not bad people. They are unskilled helpers. They are bears with big hearts and no sense of balance. And that's what makes them so hard to recognize. We trust them, we like them, but we forget to ask, do they know what they're doing? On the other hand, a smart enemy might say things we don't like, but those things might actually be true. Imagine someone who always questions your ideas. It's annoying. But one day they say, "This plan won't work." You're rushing. You double check and they're right. Their honesty saves you from failure, not because they love you, but because they see clearly. That's what Rumi meant. A wise enemy might be harsh, but they don't confuse truth with comfort. They tell it as it is, and sometimes that's more helpful than soft lies. This doesn't mean you should only listen to people who dislike you, but it does mean you should think carefully about whose advice you follow. Before you trust someone's support, ask, do they know what they're talking about? Have they done this before? Also ask, can they accept when they're wrong? Can they think before acting? A good friend is not just kind, they're also careful. They ask, do you want advice or just someone to listen? They don't rush to fix things without understanding the full picture. So how do you say no to someone who loves you but gives bad advice? It's not easy, but here's a simple way. First, thank them. Say, I really appreciate you looking out for me. Then be clear. I think I need to handle this one my way. But your support means a lot. That way, they feel respected, not rejected. If they keep pushing, you can repeat it gently. I'm good for now, but I'll ask if I need help. The people who truly care about you will understand. The ones who get upset may be helping for the wrong reasons. And what about you? How do you make sure you don't become the bear in someone else's life? Start by asking yourself before helping, do I understand this problem? Do I have the right experience, or am I just reacting emotionally? If you're not sure, it's okay to say, I don't have all the answers, but I can sit with you through it. Sometimes presence is more powerful than advice. Listening is sometimes better than trying to fix. That's how love becomes wise. There's a story of a young man named Allah who worked at a car repair shop. His mentor, Ms. Taneka, was known for her careful work. One day, a customer brought in a car with a strange noise. Ms. Taneka said, let's check it after lunch. Allah wanted to impress her. While she was gone, he opened the engine and changed some parts. When she returned, the engine was worse. It wouldn't even start. He said, I was trying to help. She replied, help is good, but next time, help with me, not before me. Allah understood. Years later, he became the leader of the shop. Not because he rushed to act, but because he learned when to wait. That's the kind of friend you want to be. Not the bear with a rock, but the mechanic with a plan. So the next time someone offers you help, ask yourself, is this person acting from knowledge or just emotion? And the next time you want to help someone, pause and ask, do I really understand what they need, or am I just reacting? Because in the end, what saves you isn't just love, it's love with wisdom. A foolish friend can ruin what even a smart enemy could never touch. But a wise friend, that's a blessing that lasts.